and welcome to the movie theater lobby again, guys. We're here talking about a special kind of episode, Brandon.
It's at least different from our usual.
We're talking about Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Scheider, he portrays Chief Brody.
That's correct.
He sees the size of the mechanical shark for the first time, and out comes his mouth, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Yeah.
And that's just like in fact, at work the other day, somebody used that line.
Really?
Yep. Totally out of the blue. And I was like, oh my God, we just talked about that.
Just talked about it. You know, when you hear it, generally people know exactly where it comes from.
Where it came from, exactly, yeah. And the fact that it wasn't in the script in the first place, I think makes it even that much more special. That kind of got us thinking about other movie quotes that are super, super influential, memorable. We decided to do an episode on it.
I love a list.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
One
you
of
do.
my favorite things in the world is a list.
I don't think people like listening to lists.
Not typically, no. So we'll try to make it not so listy, if we can.
A little list episode of some of the better lines that are out there that you guys should probably remember. And if you don't, you should watch the film so that you can get some insight into it.
And if you do know them, never knew they were improvised, maybe?
Maybe.
A little bit of info for your brain.
Yes.
Let's get right down to business,
Let's
right?
do it, yeah. So what's your first one?
Oh, making me start.
You start.
You already said that the Jaws quote, and we even mentioned it in the last episode, so no reason to go through it a third time, right?
Sure, yes.
So I'm going to start with Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
One of my favorite movies from a ways back. I used to have a Taxi Driver t-shirt.
Yeah, you did. I think we still have it somewhere.
I still probably may have it. It was huge. It was big on me. It was back in the 90s when the grunge kids all wore big baggy shirts, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a picture of Robert De Niro in the mirror scene.
Yeah.
Holding a gun out saying, you talking to me?
That's what you think of when you think of that movie.
Yes, typically.
I'm sorry. That is the first thing you think of is him talking in the mirror and looking at himself and saying, "You talking to me? I don't see anybody else here."
It has to be probably one of the most memorable lines from the film.
Yes. Interestingly, this was in the infancy of De Niro's career.
Real early in his career. And the film's writer said that De Niro had actually asked him what he should say. And he said, well, he's a little kid playing with guns and acting tough. So you can use that, and he's a big method actor. So he kind of took that to heart and really thought about what he was going to say. He knew this comedian that used the same line, and he ended up using that for that monologue. Just came up with it off the cuff because there was no lines written for that scene. Apparently, Scorsese had also said that filming was behind schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And the producers were like, dude, we got to move on.
Yeah.
We got to move on with this scene.
Just come up with something.
That's right. So Scorsese just kept filling. He's like, I need just a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Just a few more minutes.
Yeah.
And finally, near the end of that whole run is when Scorsese and De Niro found the magical, "You talking to me?"
Talking to me?
So.
I don't see anybody else here.
Yeah. So they fought for that time, and it turned out for the best.
Turned out for the best, absolutely.
All right. Well, Leia, what about you? Give us one from your side.
Well, kind of in that same vein, because Taxi Driver, when did that movie come out? In the 70s?
70s for sure, yeah.
So let's go back a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm going to go back way earlier.
Oh, God.
I got two that are actually earlier than that one, and I was going to go with the one that was just before that, but let's go way back earlier.
Okay. Let's roll it on back.
There is an infamous line that everybody knows from Casablanca.
Oh.
From 1942. Do you know which one it is?
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's looking at you, kid. Humphrey Bogart improvised this line while he was playing Rick Blaine in Casablanca.
Mm-hmm.
The story kind of goes that Bogart had begun to use this phrase while teaching Ingrid Bergman, who is the other lead actress, how to play poker offset. And he was using that as like something to say to her, like,
just
he's looking at you, kid. Yeah, like a little cheeky thing he said. What you didn't know probably was that 8 years earlier in 1934, he actually used that same line in a movie called Midnight. So that was not the first movie he used it in.
But it was in his brain.
And it became an infamous line that I think my dad said it to me when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been parodied, it's been copied and used in TV shows, commercials, movies everywhere, music. It's permeated culture.
Wasn't Humphrey Bogart, like his likeness, wasn't that used in a Twilight Zone movie too?
Tales from the Crypt episode.
Tales from the Crypt,
yeah.
That's what it was. I don't think he used that line, but I think they used images from him.
They used a lot of amalgamation from his film appearances to digitally recreate and edit him into this Tales from the Crypt episode,
which was done in first-person perspective.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
Great episode, actually. All right, I am going to go back to just one more, and then I'll let you do another one.
Sure.
But in 1969, the movie Midnight Cowboy came out. It's in New York City, where a taxi cab unexpectedly drove into the shot and kind of startled Dustin Hoffman. And Dustin Hoffman, in character, kind of just blabs out, "Hey, I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here." And he hits
love that line so much.
And he hits
the hood.
Yeah, the hood of the car. Yeah, just kind of came out of his mouth. And of course, they kept that line in.
Yeah.
And that has been parodied in, I think, Rick and Morty was the time that I've heard it recently.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been parodied over and over and over again.
I had read, too, that Hoffman said he was less concerned about being hit by the car and more concerned about losing the scene.
Yeah. Well, he made it work. He made it happen.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was such a wonderful addition.
It was a great addition. Yep. So.
Well, then I'm going to go for, we're going to do a duet.
Okay.
Early 80s film.
Maybe something I may have heard. Oh, Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Oh, just Star Wars. Okay.
Just Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Something you might know something about.
Maybe a little bit about, considering my name is from that movie. But yes, continue.
Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. And in fact, it even involves the character that you had gotten your name from.
Yes, my namesake.
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
And one scruffy-looking nerf herder, Han Solo.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Leia, why don't you deliver part and I'll deliver the other.
Brandon. I love you.
I know.
How did that come about?
So that came about because Harrison Ford was...
Harrison Ford.
Being Harrison Ford. He read the dialogue and he thought, wait.
Han Solo would say that.
Han Solo would not say, I love you too.
Yeah.
That is not Han Solo.
No.
So he decided the cocky, arrogant son of a bitch that Han Solo is would simply reply,
I know.
I know.
That was his form of I love you.
Yeah.
She took it that way too.
And she
absolutely took it that way.
It was a perfect response for the character.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. A great touch.
Great ad lib.
It's funny when the actors really get to know their characters.
Yeah, because then they can speak like them, and it's actually more authentic, far more authentic.
Yeah, it works super well, and that's something I love about when people play D&D. And I hate to just always bring stuff back to D&D, but when people
it's relevant.
When people play their characters long enough, at first, a lot of people at a table will have a really hard time getting into character, but as they play their characters more, they develop distinct personalities for their character. I friggin' love it. Anyway, okay, sorry. Let's move on.
No worries. Another one that goes back before actually even Star Wars is The Godfather.
Yes.
And in this film, there's a famous line, and it says, "Leave the gun. Take the cannoli."
So, Leia, who says that one?
Richard Castellano. He plays Peter Clemenza in the film.
Yeah. In a previous scene in the film, Clemenza's in-film wife mentions to him to bring home cannoli for dinner.
Right.
When this scene was filmed, Richard Castellano had remembered, hey, we already did that line. The woman who played his wife in that film, her name is Ardell Sheridan.
Okay.
She's actually his real-life wife as well.
Oh, really?
So she, before they started this scene, she suggested to Richard to add in the line, take the cannoli.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah.
Thus, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Smart thinking, lady, because that was perfect ad lib.
That's right.
Perfect.
It was so great.
Yeah, because if she hadn't said that, then we'd all been wondering what happened to the cannoli.
Yeah.
I would have been left just like, well, I'm not watching that movie. They left the cannoli behind.
Yeah. You got to have the cannoli.
You got to have the cannoli. Wife asked for it. You need to bring it. All right, all right, all right.
I know that line.
Do you?
I do. I believe it's from Dazed and Confused, right?
Yeah, it is from Dazed and Confused, yeah.
Who
from
said
1993.
That one?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Y'all know
I can
that
picture
already.
It now.
Y'all know that already.
He's in a car flirting with a redheaded gal named Cynthia, I believe. He wasn't supposed to be in that scene, was he?
No, he was thrown into that scene with no lines.
Yeah.
And that's what he came up with.
Came up with it. He had been listening to The Doors as an inspiration, a way to connect with his character.
Yeah.
And Matthew McConaughey had remembered at one point listening to a live Doors performance where Jim Morrison had said, all right, a couple of times in succession.
All right, yeah.
And he just decided, hey, okay, I'm
all
just
right, all right.
And that's another one that has been parodied, and it's followed Matthew McConaughey for his entire life.
It has, yeah. I hope he's embraced it by now.
He actually has. Yeah, he said in many interviews, people have asked him, are you sick of it? He goes, no, I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
He said
he has to be proud of that. I mean, he came up with it himself.
He said
better own it.
It's forever a callback to, was it his first role? I don't remember if it was his first role or
I think it was in the infancy of his career.
Yeah, he said it's forever a callback to one of his first jobs ever. So he loves it.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
awesome.
Loves it. I guess we're feeling kind of nostalgic today because I'm going to take us back to another late 70s film, The Warriors.
Warriors.
Come out to play.
So that one's not is that one improvised?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, for real.
I was going to say that one's not the improvised line.
No,
it is.
That is the improvised line.
Because that one's iconic.
Yes. So the villain character Luther, who has pursued the Warriors throughout the whole movie, he was played by David Patrick Kelly. The line as written, I couldn't find what the line as written was supposed to be. But
Lame, though.
Something that was still taunting to the Warriors, but they couldn't get it to sound right.
Sure.
So David Patrick Kelly remembered back when he was young, there was a neighbor kid who would taunt and tease him by kind of singing his name in a sing-song kind of voice.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I got this idea. Let me just tease the Warriors, taunt the Warriors in a sing-songy way. And apparently there were glass beer bottles everywhere. So he just picked up 3 glass beer bottles, put them on his fingers, and clamped them together.
Shut up.
And
genius.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. So let's go to 1991.
Okay.
The movie Silence of the Lambs. Everybody knows the line where Hannibal Lecter is, played by Anthony Hopkins, is in the jail. Clarice, or Jodie Foster, comes to visit him to get some information from him because he's helping her solve the murders, the guy who's killing people.
Yes.
And he goes in and, of course, he's playing with her and taunting her. And then he starts talking about eating some liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah. And that line was scripted.
Right.
But the part that wasn't scripted was the
Yeah.
sound that came out of his mouth. And when I was doing the research on this, I thought it was kind of funny because the way that they put it, they write it. Because how do you write?
Yeah, it's an odd sound to give life to.
The way they worded it was, but do that and then inhale. Then you get,
Yeah. So a very weird onomatopoeia kind of word. It's so very strange.
But that sound really kind of took on a terrifying life for that line.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's not something like...
So not only does he like human liver and fava beans and a Chianti, but he is relishing in it.
It's not a sound you would hear somebody just in casual conversation.
No. You'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Like if I was talking to a coworker or something.
Oh, man, I had pizza last night.
Oh.
However, if you did that today, people would be like, oh, homage to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so weird.
Right.
So thank you for that.
But apparently I was reading that Anthony Hopkins, in between takes, he was kind of messing with Jodie Foster. And that was a sound he was kind of teasing her with, just to be silly.
Yeah.
Just to kind of lighten the tense.
The weird mood.
To lighten things in between takes. And then he just decided to throw it in there to that line, and it worked out great.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we've spent a lot of time in the past here, and we can go back to the past.
Sure.
We can go back to the future.
Going back to the... What?
That film's not included on the list.
Back to the past? Oh, wait.
So I'm going to bring us a little more into the present.
Okay.
Kind of early 2000s, I think.
Okay.
With a little Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah. So, Leia...
I want to shout it from the top of a mountain.
There are certainly a lot of lines from that film that were improvised.
Sex Panther.
However... No, it's fine. There's so many
good ones
or
in there,
quotable lines, absolutely. But one I'm going to make a special call out for because we've said it a lot.
Yeah.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp. Steve Carell had met with Adam McKay, the director, and Adam McKay was saying, he was apologizing to Steve Carell, saying, I'm sorry, we don't have a whole lot of lines for your character, particularly in this scene where, Ron was talking about love and all the other newscast members were talking about what love means to them. You can see Brick just kind of looking around the room and he just calls out, I love Lamp. Steve just started literally, you can see his mind working and calling out, I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
It's Adam McKay just literally told Steve, since we don't have any lines for you, just say anything.
Oh, that was
So he did.
It's kind of a scary thing to say to Steve Carell.
To Steve Carell, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so going back just a little bit and something a little more serious, there was a movie that came out that was called A Few Good Men from 1992.
I do recall.
You do recall. It turns out, so Jack Nicholson delivered this infamous line that my dad still uses to this day, especially if it's something silly.
Sure.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. That line exploded in pop culture everywhere around us.
Yeah. Well,
when that film hit.
The original line was, you already have the truth.
Right. That doesn't hit the same way. You already have the truth.
You already have the truth. What?
No.
That's lame.
That's not cool.
So Nicholson just trimmed that shit up.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
That's so much better.
So much better. Yeah.
It adds an urgency to the line. Instead of just saying you already have the truth, like leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't handle the truth. This is sorry, tough shit, buddy.
Yeah.
Not for you.
So, yeah, every time I'm like, well, just tell me what happened. My dad's like, you can't handle the truth. I'm like, oh my God. Stop.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Well, let's stick right around that time frame then.
Okay.
And let's move into Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Because
that's hard to believe Fight Club came around the same time.
I know it was right around the same time as Phantom Menace and
1999.
Okay, so a few years different.
A few years down, but not many.
A few years different. Yeah. But with Fight Club, there's a scene where Tyler Durden and Edward Norton's character, who typically is referred to as Jack, we'll just kind of leave it at that. They're fighting in a parking lot. It's kind of the first time that they're ever getting physical with each other.
Sure.
Edward Norton's character punches Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden in the friggin' ear.
In the ear.
It's a genuine hit.
Yes.
He genuinely hits him. Now, he was supposed to hit him in the shoulder. That's the way it was scripted.
It was scripted that way, yeah.
But David Fincher, every now and again, would go to Edward Norton and be like, okay, well, just hit him.
Change this
Hit him somewhere.
Yeah.
Hit him somewhere meaningful, like in the ear.
Yeah.
So Edward Norton swung and punched Brad Pitt right in the ear.
And Edward Norton was nervous.
Norton was nervous.
Edward Norton was nervous about doing it because Brad Pitt had already been kind of a big star at that point. And he was like, oh, you want me to what?
Uh-huh.
It's like, all right, I'll trust your instinct on this one. And just wallops him in the ear.
Hits him in the ear.
To which Brad Pitt says,
you hit me in the ear.
You punched me in the ear.
Right after that, Edward Norton's character like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, blah, 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 apologizing. Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden says something to the effect of, why the ear?
Why the ear, man?
Yeah. His reaction was genuine.
Yeah.
And Edward Norton continues to apologize and he goes, I'm sorry. Tyler Durden says, no, it was perfect. And then punches Edward Norton. It's such a great, great scene.
Yeah, that is
so
a good
well
scene.
Done.
We talked about the movie Die Hard early on from 1988. Stephen DeSouza actually wrote the famous line, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
That famous line was actually written as yippee-ki-yay, a-hole.
Right.
Or yippee-ki-yay, asshole. But Bruce, during his final take, he had ad-libbed the motherfucker part. And DeSouza said that the studio, kind of nervously left that in for their first test screening. And the reaction actually made it permanent. He said that, it actually worked.
Yeah.
He was nervous because he thought maybe it was not going to fly, And in an interview with Ryan Seacrest in 2013, he had told Ryan Seacrest that he changed that line just to make the crew kind of laugh and to just kind of crack them up. And he had no idea that it was going to actually even make it into the film.
That little change adds such a heavier weight.
Well, there's no
statement.
Better word than the word
fucker. Yeah.
That fuck.
And
so, that word is just, there's something about it.
It adds a level of arrogance that McClane was emoting to the audience.
Yeah.
And the audience was brought along with that level of arrogance because of that statement.
Yeah.
So I think it was such a great change, minor as it is.
Minor as it was, great change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's stay on the fuck train.
All right.
Because we're going to go to X-Men First Class.
Oh, going into some of, all right.
So there's a scene where Magneto and Xavier are recruiting mutants for the first class of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And they come across a very familiar face sitting alone in a bar.
Oh.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Is it Wolverine?
Uh-huh. So they're...
All you had to say was bar.
Yeah. So
I knew exactly what you were talking about.
They walk up to him, and his line as written is, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So it was supposed to be, it was scripted to be
with
a
the word
fuck.
fuck in it, yeah.
And they did like 6 or 7 takes or something with the fuck off line.
It just
and
wasn't hidden right.
But on the 7th take, Hugh Jackman said, "Go fuck yourself."
And we were like, oh, yeah.
So you can see Fassbender and McAvoy kind of smiling a little bit as they walk away because, they weren't expecting the change. And it hits so well. Another really minor change in the dialogue.
Super minor, because it uses the same word.
Same word, but it changes
the delivery
the feel
is
of it.
totally
Yes.
different, yeah. Well, staying in the...
The fuck train?
No, staying in the realm of superheroes.
Oh, good, yes.
Staying in that realm. During the Avengers Infinity War, that sad part where Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is turning into dust, and he says, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go."
Yeah, it really hits you.
"I don't want to go" was kind of an ad-libbed line. Holland said that his motivation was, you don't want to go.
Right.
That was his whole motivation.
Yeah.
And he says this thing that he does, this technique he does to help get emotion out of a line is to say the line over and over and over again until it sounds profound or like it has some kind of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did that, he said that line over and over and over again. And in the scene, he just thought he'd say it out loud.
Yeah.
Just say that phrase out loud because that phrase wasn't in the script.
Right.
But he just decided to say that phrase out loud. And he said, and then just the waterworks came out because it was just like all of a sudden he felt all this, emotion build up.
Is his character.
Not only did that line get ad-libbed in the end, but it worked for the scene as well and gave you some emotion.
And it's a very memorable scene in that film.
And that scene also included Tony Stark, who was played by Robert Downey Jr. because he's holding him as he's dying.
Yeah.
He also has a very iconic line in the Iron Man movie where he says, "I am Iron Man." And that's like at the very end of the movie. I don't think he was supposed to give away that he was to the public that he was Iron Man even because the director was really surprised that he had came out with the revelation right at the end of the movie and just said, "I am Iron Man." He said that off script during the filming of the movie's final scene, he blurted out that revelation and it surprised Feige. Feige. And he became excited because, it was at the final cut of the credits and it was so keeping in character with who Tony Stark was.
Yeah, he can't keep that secret. There's no way.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was supposed to be a secret or not, but it wasn't supposed to be said that way.
Yeah.
And he just kind of blurted it out because he thought, like you said, these actors get into these characters and they really know who they are. He felt that's just how Tony Stark would have done it.
Oh, yeah. If there's anybody that embodies a character, Robert Downey Jr. lives in Iron Man.
He lives in Iron Man. He is literally, he is Iron Man.
Well, I'm also going to take you to another line that came from somebody really getting into their character's headspace. So the movie Aliens.
Yeah.
In Aliens, Bill Paxton plays Hudson, and Hudson's most iconic line is, "Game over, man! Game over!" He improvised that line because James Cameron had told, usually Cameron's a very stickler for staying to the script, but he told everyone who was playing one of the Space Marines, he said, feel free to develop your own character backstory.
Sure.
So Bill Paxton had decided that Hudson, he was inexperienced, he's younger than most of the group, he's immature, and he felt Hudson in his off time would be a hardcore gamer. So game culture was sort of built into Hudson. So when Hudson was faced with what appeared to be
his last moments,
a desperate final situation, he was freaking out. He couldn't handle the stress and game over, man, game over. That was the line. Yeah.
Iconic. I wasn't going to mention this one, but since you brought up James Cameron,
Mhm.
he directed Titanic. There's a line in there that wasn't ad-libbed by the actor. It was actually ad-libbed by James Cameron, but it was on the spot. And it was at the bow of the ship where, what's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio is at the bow of the ship, and he says, "I'm king of the world." That when they were shooting the scene, James Cameron was like, why don't you try this? And told him to say that, and that's what stuck it. But it wasn't part of the original script.
Right, yeah. So it wasn't ad-libbed by Leonardo, but rather James
He delivered
Cameron.
it,
Yeah,
expertly.
Absolutely. And it still was made up on the spot.
It was still made up on the spot. 1980,
Mhm.
The Shining.
Oh, right.
Jack Nicholson's in a scene where he breaks down the bathroom door with the axe.
Oh, how could anyone forget?
He actually was referencing a line from Johnny Carson's famous opening of The Tonight Show. Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Absolutely ad-libbed. Yeah.
They went through, I don't remember the number, but they went through so many doors.
Yeah, they did.
In that scene.
But we're also talking about, what's his name?
Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick, who's just insanely meticulous about
he knows
his
exactly
scenes.
who he wants in a scene.
Yes, to a point where it drives the actors in the movie literally crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one where they had prop doors.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack Nicholson, he was previously a volunteer firefighter.
Yeah.
And he knew how to chop through a door.
Yeah.
So he was chopping through the prop doors too easily.
Yeah.
So they had to get a reinforced door for him to chop through.
It's pretty funny. Another callback to 1990s Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a famous line in that one that, for whatever reason, I think about it a lot, and I just think it's one of Joe Pesci's favorite, one of the best lines he's ever delivered. And he's delivered a lot of really good lines.
So many great classic
My Cousin
lines.
Vinny was gold. Two Utes. I say that one a lot too, but he did ad-lib the line, "Funny how? Funny like I'm a clown? I amuse you?"
Uh-huh.
So that is actually based on some real life experience he had as an actor talking with actual mob people. So
Yeah, when he was a waiter, right?
When he was a waiter.
Yeah. He meant to
not as an actor. Sorry, actual experience he had before becoming an actor. Yes.
Yeah, he meant to compliment a real life mobster.
Yeah,
right?
and called him funny.
And the guy took offense instead.
So he used that line in the movie, which is
why
perfect because it goes right along with how crazy he was in the film.
If I remember correctly, Scorsese heard Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci doing that in rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something they were ad-libbing
just
during
having
rehearsal.
fun with, yeah.
And Scorsese liked it so much, he's like, let's do this.
That's got to go in. So not ad-lib maybe on the spot, but overheard and
but
added at the last minute.
Certainly not scripted.
Not scripted, yeah.
At least not initially scripted.
No.
True Romance, we already covered that.
We already covered that movie, yeah.
So Christopher Walken is having a dialogue with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. Great dialogue piece, by the way.
Yeah.
Which we've already covered. We've already told everybody how much we love that dialogue.
So the line at the end of that speech is, "You're a cantaloupe."
You're a cantaloupe.
From Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm.
That one was not scripted. He came up with it on the spot. Tarantino at first hated it. He did not want to keep that line in.
What the hell does that mean?
But yeah, right. It hit enough that he decided just to leave it in.
All right.
And
sometimes you got to go with, even if it's not something you personally like.
Yeah.
If people like it, you got to leave it in. That's a sign of a good director.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
They're willing to deviate just a little bit
a little
without sacrificing the vision of the film.
Right.
I'm going to go to a genre we haven't covered much,
mm-hmm.
a children's film.
A children's film?
Yeah. I'm going to go
ad-lib with a children's film,
right.
huh? Okay.
Sandlot.
That's such a good children's film.
There's a statement that's decried 2 times, maybe 3 times in the film. Hamilton Ham Porter, played by Patrick Renna, he has a very iconic statement that most people will recognize in an instant. Maybe they don't even know it comes from Sandlot, but so he says the rather iconic statement, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Killing me, Smalls.
Improvised on the spot by him.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That one's such a huge one. I think I've said that one a million times.
Oh yeah, me too. I love that line.
Yeah.
When I'm so exasperated with somebody and I don't want to be
I look at him,
douche.
I'm like, "You're killing me, Smalls." I say that to my drafter sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Uh-huh.
They keep coming back asking the same question. I'm like, "Bro, you're killing me, Smalls."
Do we need to do this again? Come on, Smalls. I'm going to give you another one, and then we'll go to one of yours, right?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Shaun of the Dead. That's the movie. That's not the line I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
It is a good one.
You got red on you.
Also not the one I'm thinking of, but also a good one.
line.
So
sorry, Sean.
Sean.
Sorry,
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So when they're in the pub,
Yeah.
Ed is trying his best to defend the value of hanging out at the pub. He's looking around the room and he's calling out the patrons, and he's sort of giving these very, I guess not super elaborate, but somewhat elaborate backstories for each and every person.
He's really grasping at straws.
Whether or not they're true, likely just making them on the spot. One woman in particular, she's kind of elderly. She looks rather conservatively dressed. Sean points to that woman, and Ed goes, "Oh, coccicidal maniac." That just sounded Australian. That was not good.
Maniac.
Coccicidal maniac. So the coccicidal maniac part was the ad lib.
Okay.
He had done a few other takes with different adjectives.
Mm-hmm.
None of them really hit until coccicidal maniac.
And they're like, that's it.
Which,
keep it.
Yes. It caught Simon Pegg so unaware he started laughing.
They're like, well, that's it.
That's the one.
I would have had a real hard time doing a movie with Nick Frost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Because he's hilarious.
Certainly. Staying in the comedy genre. We're going to another movie we've covered already.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-hmm.
I think we may have even mentioned that this one was improvised in the episode, but I'm just going to mention it, not really elaborate too much.
Yeah.
The scene where they're in the
You're laughing already.
When they're in the Van Nuys.
The Van Nuys. Oh, God. We brought the Van Nuys back,
yes,
guys.
Got it back.
You have to listen to that episode if you need some context.
Right.
Because that's...
Yeah, there's a thing with the Van Nuys.
Okay.
There's a point where Lloyd and Harry are in the car with the gas man.
The gas man.
And he's sitting in between the two.
He really wants his money.
Right. And Lloyd kind of just out of the blue says, "Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?" And starts making this really horrible noise. And then Harry starts joining in, and the gas is like, "Stop, stop, stop, stop." Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Completely improvised. That whole scene just kind of went down in history as...
I'm pretty sure Harry, even the guy who plays Harry, even started cracking up at
he did, yeah.
Yeah. Because he couldn't, it was like too much. You know, that same movie, we actually talked about the line, and again, I'm not going to elaborate, but another improvised line, because I think Jim Carrey's probably just like, he's just good at ad-libbing. Yeah. Another one that he ad-libbed that I just die every time I hear it is, he's in the bar with that woman from Aspen that he met at the gas station, and she's just blah, 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 talking his ear off, and he's just like, He finally gets away from her, and she gives him some advice or something, and he's like, oh, but I gotta go, and he's like, he's leaving the bar, and there's a picture on the wall of this man lands on the moon.
Yeah,
is the picture.
Framed newspaper clipping.
And he says, no way! That's great! And then he opens the doors and ceremoniously says, we landed on the moon! Totally ad-libbed.
Such a great sequel.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
I'm going to end my list here with another comedy entry. Animal House.
Toga!
So there's a cafeteria
scene.
There's
a lot of good lines in that one.
So many good lines.
Anyway.
There's a cafeteria scene where John Belushi's Bluto is eating some food.
Is this the one where he's putting his mouth?
Shoves a whole bunch of mashed potatoes.
It.
And he puffs his cheeks out and punches his cheeks. And then
with the donuts in his mouth, mashed potatoes or whatever it was,
pouring out. He goes, I'm a zit. Get it?
Get it?
Yeah.
That was ad-libbed?
Yeah, that was ad-libbed.
Not surprising.
Yeah, right.
I have a feeling he ad-libbed a few lines in that one.
I would have no doubt.
Yeah. My last entry here is from a more recent film. It's the Barbie movie.
Oh, one of the most recent films.
Yeah, 2023. There's a scene where Barbie finally accepts his offer to be his, quote, long-term, long-distance, low-commitment, casual girlfriend.
Right.
He's sulking, and she says this, and he walks back into his bachelor pad out of view, and you hear him go, sublime! And then he kind of strolls back casually, and he says, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. That sublime line was improvised.
It was so great because I believe the house that he was in, it had no exterior wall, right? So you could see right through it.
You could hear everything. You couldn't see him saying it, but you could hear everything.
He's so great.
Margot Robbie said she had a really good time on the set with him because he was hilarious.
Yeah, he seems like
just a crack a second. Sure, that wasn't the only ad-libbed line, but that's probably one of the most infamous ones from that film.
One.
So yeah, I think that's a good list.
I think so too.
There's so many more. We
Yeah.
could do another one of these probably in the future.
No doubt we could. But we've already gone way longer than we expected this
Yeah,
to go.
we did.
So let's leave it here. Check us out on socials. We're not going to elaborate on all that stuff. Blue Sky,
It's big. That's
email.
the big one.
Find us and the show, both places.
Mhm.
In fact, if you're listening to this, you probably already have found us on those places.
Probably, yes.
But why don't you leave a rating?
yeah, if
on
you
the
haven't done that
podcast
yet,
listen,
that would be
podcast platform.
super
Yeah.
helpful.
We don't have too many.
No,
And we have somebody who really didn't care for us.
which is fine.
Which is fine. It's fine. It's cool. But why don't you give us, whatever you think is fair.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. So have a good week, y'all. We'll see you next week with a different topic.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us at
The Movie Theater Lobby.
Bye.
Bye.